E. Jean Carroll is a journalist and author who, in the middle of 2019, accused President Trump of having raped her in a New York City department store about 2 decades earlier. President Trump denied those allegations.
I have no idea who this woman is. This is a woman who's also accused other men of things, as you know. It's a totally false accusation. I have absolutely no idea who she is.
And subsequent to that, E. Jean Carroll sued him, essentially saying, "You denying my rape allegation is defaming me."
She did it. It's terrible. What's going on? So it's a total false accusation.
About a month ago, a New York judge rejected President Trump's bid to have the case delayed. So it seemed that it was on course for E. Jean Carroll to seek an on-the-record, under oath interview with President Trump. That was all kind of swirling. And then the thing that happened most recently is the Justice Department intervened in that state lawsuit, taking the case to federal court and asking a judge to substitute as the defendant in the case the United States government instead of President Trump. The US Justice Department, taxpayer-paid lawyers, are now sort of operating to the benefit of President Trump.
Once the United States is substituted, the case is dismissed because the United States has not waived sovereign immunity in those cases. The result is dismissal of the claim, not that the taxpayers foot the bill.
But what Barr is pointing out, and many legal analysts would agree with him, that like, look, this is really about killing the case. If the government is substituted in, then they will be able to invoke sovereign immunity. And provided a judge goes along with that, the case would just go away. It would be dismissed. So taxpayers would never be on the hook to pay Jean Carroll damages. Now, I should point out, like, taxpayers already are funding the Justice Department's involved in this. Taxpayer lawyers have now involved themselves in this case, which has to do with the president's personal interest. There are sort of moral issues at play and legal issues at play. But even the lawyers who sort of believe, well, the Justice Department is on fine legal ground here, think this is just the wrong move. I mean, the White House had to ask the Justice Department to take this step. They didn't do that when the case was new. They only did that now after a judge had kind of put it on course against President Trump. So it just kind of is rubbing people in the wrong way. Like, why should the Justice Department be involved in what is effectively a personal dispute? A lot of critics of the administration, and of Barr in particular, see this as just one in a long line of the Justice Department kind of serving Trump's personal and political interests. Almost no matter what happens with this case going forward, this is undeniably a benefit for Trump because it delays things. I should point out that Barr says while he was briefed on this, he wasn't the decider. It was a lower level career official. A lower level career official indeed signed the brief and owned this decision. But nonetheless, critics see this as an example of the Justice Department kind of helping Trump in a personal way. So you'll see arguments centered around, should this properly stay in federal court and should the US government be substituted as the defendant?